Start recording. Alright. All first fives checked. I gotta verify that all the first fives have been checked. Once that's done, I'll start the match. I need a yay. Good, Julius.
Videos.
What was that?
Alt tabbing between Discord and all of the TOs have. I guess if they're streaming, they probably all.
Yeah, if they're streaming. Okay, so I got a yay from. I got a yay. Got a yay from C. I'm needing a yay from Julius. We can begin. Okay, I got a yay from Julius. Begin.
I don't know
my
that,
only
like,
goal. I could lose 16 to nothing, but if I don't get rused by hidden power, I'll be improving.
Alright, guys, go ahead and start. Good luck. Papa P said he's not streaming right now because he's got to deal with his mic is having issues and he's having familiar issues. Gotta keep an eye on everything. So, I'll start the timer. TTS does let you be black spectator mode, which is like a game master, and the game master mode lets you see player hands. I made the choice to not reveal player hands during the game because there could be some cheating.
I think that I actually want to go first, but I don't know if I might come to regret that.
If
So yeah,
stream
I'll
is
go
up
first.
and the hands are viewable, a player could go to the stream, look at their opponent's hand, know what they have.
Okay.
I'd hope no one would be doing that. I don't be cheating.
Let's do.
Just to prevent that completely, I will just have the
Someone actually want that one?
Now we can play. We can play as if we don't know what's in their hand, just like a player would.
I will play sleight of hand.
So Christian opens up with sleight of hand. We have a Jessa versus Jessa matchup here. The first round. For everyone new to Ashes, Jessa is a Phoenix Born are your main character you choose. They each have their own ability and some stats. Jessa's ability is when a unit leaves, a unit under a component's control leaves play, you can spend the die, a basic mana type, to deal 1 damage to their Phoenix Born. The first player to reduce their opponent's life total to 0 wins. This is your mana source. You have 10 dice you can use every round as mana. Other than that, it's kind of like a Magic the Gathering or Netrunner or some other type of CCG. It's actually pretty similar to Magic in terms of you summon units, you kill each other, but there's a lot of mind games go on. Christian's first card he played was Sleight of Hand, which was 2 mana, and he gets to draw 3 cards. So now he has essentially 7 cards in hand to play. Normally you start the game with only 5 cards. You can actually pick whatever 5 cards you want in your starting hand of 5 in Ashes. The only rule is you can't have more than 1 copy of the same card. That's why earlier I had to verify first 5s and make sure that no one was having more than 1 single copy of a card in their hand. We're on our way now. Let's see. I think Tim's going to start the Hammer Knight. Yep. So Hammer Knight is an awesome card. It's 3 dice, 4 attack, 3 life, 1 recover. Aftershock, when it deals damage, you can deal a wound.
I will not pay 1 for screens.
So Christian played Fear for his main action.
Before, so I'm going to meditate on my side.
He feared the Hammer Knight, which bounces it back to his opponent's hand.
Well, hidden power.
He had the option of using Screams for damage. He chose not to, because he has 6 more cards in hand. He's going to want that mana so he can actually play them. So he decides to use Fear on the Hammer Knight and then meditate some dice. It's kind of bothering me that he didn't make his cards the same size. he made his hand cards bigger, but he left his deck cards the same size, so he's got this mismatch. But that's alright.
Alright, sorry, I didn't make sure this is what I think it is. Okay, I will match you. Bear style.
So, Red Wraith was
Oh shoot!
book. Oh,
I put the wrong book in my first 5.
I'm gonna put this here to make it bigger, and then.
Red Wraith book was dropped.
Did I meditate any cool allies that are free to play? I sure did.
And
Okay.
Frostback Bear book was dropped over here.
No.
So we have a Dread Wraith and a Bear books, both dropped. Dread Wraith is a. These books are allow you to summon tokens, what the equivalent of tokens would be in Magic the Gathering. This one is three mana for a 1/6 unit, one attack, 6 life. That has an ability Rage, which is for every wound token on it, it gains 1 attack. And this one's a Bear, which is 2 mana for a 2/3 that does a bunch of awesome stuff.
Main action off here again.
Oh, so sleight of
I'll pay
hand.
1 to screens this time.
Wow. So Tim decides he's gonna spend the mana and bite the bullet to play another hand, to play the Hammer Knight back out that got feared and bounced to hand. So he paid 3 more mana. And Christian, with his sleight of hand, drew a second copy of Fear. That is huge. Wow. Basically, Christian paid 2 dice to siphon 6 dice off of Tim this round. Wow. Wow.
It's fine.
And he plays it again. That Hammer Knight.
Man, I really wish I would have drawn the 3rd just to be
The
brutal.
3rd.
So the most you can have is 3 copies of a single card in your deck.
That's his.
So Christian drawing a second copy of Fear is actually pretty lucky on his part. And decks have to be 30 cards, so they've meditated some from their deck. Meditation is a technique in Ashes that lets you remove cards from your deck, or discard cards from your deck, spellboard, or hand, and change the face of dice. The faces are like quality of the magic, so you can see the bear cost a leaf and a basic here. That means you need to use like one of these green dice that has a leaf on it, or one that has a frog. The frog can be used as a leaf.
I'll do that, and
So he spends
no
2 mana,
sign.
summons a bear. Full of text.
Yep.
Tim responds to the bear with his fear.
And yeah, it was your
Fear
turn, and then
hits a
yeah.
conjuration. They actually just go back to the conjuration pile, so it's as if they die. Christian's going to say,
your
I'm
turn.
going to play expand. Did you pay for that expand?
And I didn't. Thank you. I was just realizing that.
He's going to play expand energy and just say I'm just going to take this Hammer Knight to the face, because Tim can swing with the Hammer Knight now.
This work. I'll go ahead and
Yeah, so he's just going to hit him in the face for 4. Expand energy
things. Your turn.
basically lets you exhaust it to get a die back.
Main action.
Oh, wow. Another wow, that was a great sleight of hand. My goodness. He got a second copy of Bear and a second Fear when he did sleight of hand. That's wow. Wow.
EV?
So he's got a blocker.
No, EV from down under.
Wow, guys. Wow. I'm guessing Christian's he's got one of his cards from his first 5 left, because I can tell because it's a different size. I'm betting this is Hidden Power. Well, I saw the first 5s, I just don't remember what they were.
Main action.
It is Hidden Power. He's gonna grab Nature Die, and probably another Nature Die, yeah.
Side action. I'll ping
And then
that.
ping that. That's right. What he's gonna try to do, guys, is he's going to expand energy to grab another Nature Die, frog pin the EV so it dies, and then he's going to summon a bear and swing in for 3 damage to the face. I'm pretty sure that's the plan. Tim has a card in hand. He's got no dice, so he might be unable to play it. Yeah, he just might be unable to play it at this point.
side action. I'll ping it.
So Tim passed.
Oh, okay.
Christian used expand energy, get a nature die back, ping the EV.
Okay.
And Tim's gonna pass, most likely.
Um,
Action. I'll play that. That's
So-
it.
So he's gonna put out a book. Christian ended up sleight of handing into a summon butterfly monk.
Action. I'll summon another.
And he summons a bear. It's gonna end up hitting him in the face for 3
Main
damage.
action. I'll hit you for 3.
So Frostback Bear has only 2 attack, but it has the ability Spite 1.
Your turn.
When it deals damage to a Phoenixborn, you may deal 1 additional damage to that Phoenix.
Pass as well.
So when it hits
Alright, so-
Phoenixborns, it does 3 damage.
failed to sufficiently thoroughly inspect my book before I put it in the first 5.
Yeah, I think Tim was
So I really am playing the
thinking
bear list.
this was a bear and not a...
Oh man, I
Right.
heard you say that, and I just assumed that was a bear.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
man.
did I when I put it in my first 5.
That
Oh
was a
no.
mistake he made. He took
Well,
Dread Wraith instead of
At least I
bear.
didn't get bruised by hidden power.
Yeah, they're all gone too. That was all 3 from the meds and the play.
Christian's been at 7 cards from deck at this point. Tim's been at 5. Well, been at a couple. That's EV was there, so he's been at 4. Christian's been at not 7. 7, minus the 2 fears and the hidden powers that he actually played. That leaves him with 14 cards in deck after the draw. Tim's gonna have
So,
18 cards in deck after the draw, assuming he keeps this card. He could choose to discard it now, so that when he draws back up to 5, he gets a new card. He elects to keep the card. Dice have been rolled. Christian rolled 4 basics, 2 power. Tim rolled 4 basics, no power. So Tim's going first this round, because Christian went first in the first round. Tim's gonna decide what he's gonna do. Life is 14 to 14.
How many
Pretty
fears did you use,
close,
Yes, sir.
but pretty close. But Christian's got a huge board developed. Look at this: 2 bear books, expand energy, and butterfly monk versus a single dread wraith. That's pretty big. The light here, the shining light for Tim is that.
Ouch.
But Tim's also used 2 fears now. I was gonna say the shining light for Tim was that Christian's used 2 fears. He's got 2 available. There's the second. So both players have used 2 fears. They only have 1 left in deck or hand at this point.
It's a very side action heavy light deck.
Tim elected to Screams there to deal direct damage after he got rid of the bear. Oh, Regress. Christian plays Regress on the Hammer Knight. What Regress does is an attachment, an alteration that gives the attached unit -5 attack. So Hammer Knight has -1 attack now, which is rough because he's not swinging with that. The plus side is that Christian has bears, and if the bears are gonna attack, he's got a blocker for him. He just have the Hammer Knight block.
Yeah, if Eric's watching, he says you can do that because he's a cheater.
So I made a mistake once in a tabletop simulator game where I feared my own unit, and because I don't play Jessa, this is a Jessa unique card, and it says, I don't read it. It says, under an opponent's control. Opponent's control. You can't fear your own units. So yeah, it didn't really matter in that game at all, actually, but it's funny. Yeah. I don't think you want to fear this Hammer Knight anyway. I think you want this Hammer Knight. Well, depends what's in his hand, right? If he's starving for units in his hand, then he has to play Dread Wraith now. So he's definitely starving for units in his hand. Otherwise, he wouldn't have gone Dread Wraith. The Dread Wraith comes out. The Dread Wraith comes out, and The Dread Wraith, to refresh your memories, is a 1/6, 1 attack, 6 life, rage 1. Add 1 to this unit's attack value for each wound token on it. So it can be up to a 6/1.
Main action, I'll play that. Side action, I'm gonna take 1.
Christian main action plays Violinist.
I'm gonna
Side
switch
action.
to Projectile for a moment.
Meditates 1
Sure, go for it.
to get a wolf die.
And then, no side.
He elects not to use the Violinist ability because
Die.
there's nothing for him to damage right now. Everything is quite big. Doesn't want to
No,
commit
no,
all the
I
dice
agree.
to that. I think he's prepping this wolf die to eat the ceremonial die, because that completely locks Tim out of that color for the round. So it stops Hammer Knights, it stops Fire Archers, it stops Final Cry, it stops a lot of things from being played. Then Tim can only play things with nature dice at that point. And since Tim has a 5/5 dice split, Christian's counting on the fact that he has a lot of ceremonial things to play. So if he has anything in ceremonial colors, Tim's gotta
just
play it now.
established This is gonna be a thing. It's not.
So you just pass?
Yes.
Tim likes to pass. Completely pass this round. Wait to see what Christian
Build
does.
the bear army.
Christian builds a bear. The bear,
And side action, I'll get rid of that last ceremony.
yeah, so he did get rid of the ceremonial die. Eliminate that option. Tim's gonna fear this bear probably, because he's played through the last sphere. Yep. There it goes.
Gosh.
And he's gonna screams. Man, this is interesting. So Christian now has basically there's a wall. I mean, there's a wall of a -1/3
I got another one.
and a 1/6 standing in the way of bears
Ew.
attacking. But he's just gonna try to develop his battlefield.
We'll see where this gets me. A really big wraith this turn.
Oh my gosh. That is terrifying.
Hopefully you don't just blood chains it.
Oh.
Alright. A really big.
So, that's scary. No side.
So he massively grew the Wraith, guys. Gives it +4 attack, +4 life. This Wraith is a 5/10. I don't know what he's gonna do with it, but he's got a 5/10 Wraith. That's a big Wraith. Not sure what the plan is. I guess you kill the bear with it. Deep. Okay. Curious. If he has a second, oh, he's got a second deep freeze. He's got a second deep freeze. Sure, Tim is going to deep freeze the violinist as well. Well, I don't think this is the. I mean, there's still butterflies available. Yeah.
I'll play a butterfly. Your turn.
So Tim, maybe Tim's gonna ping the butterfly and attack with the wraith
Wow.
at.
You hit the butterfly monk?
Yeah. So he's gonna decide to use this massive growth to kill the bear. Probably, because there's no reason to attack into an EV. He's just gonna bring it back. So the wraith attacks the.
I mean, you're swinging at me?
I think he's gonna swing at the bear.
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I heard side action ping the butterfly, but I didn't hear the main. So you're
Oh,
swinging at the.
I'm attacking the bear.
Yeah, so he's attacking the bear.
Oh, yeah, it'll die.
They both don't have their own conjuration pile because they because someone expressed concern that you could cheat in Tabletop Simulator. You can very easily count cards in a pile by just mousing over it. So, in theory, if you knew how many conjurations someone had and you saw their dice type, you could figure out what they're playing. So, just to kind of cut that whole avenue out of the game,
Man, I'll swing at
just
Jessa
using
with
a
that.
community conjuration pile.
Plus my useless plus.
Yeah, I'll pay 1 to screams.
So there what happened was the Wraith attacked the bear dies.
So,
Christian summons a Crimson Bomber, attacks Tim blocks with
Dies.
the regressed Hammer Knight. So the Hammer Knight dies. Christian screams for 1. Super close game. Super close. I think Christian's gonna be able to hit for 1 here.
I'll swing at you for 1 with EV. And then that's fine.
So the reason that Tim used Deep Freeze on the bear there was because if he attacked the bear with the Wraith without Deep Freeze, then Christian could have paid a die to use the bear's ability, which is called Just Freeze, not Deep Freeze. And that would have placed another exhaustion token on the Wraith, and the Wraith would be exhausted right now. So it was like paying a die to prevent the bear from using it. So we have 12 life versus 13. The
frogs, I guess.
Christian is first this next round. 2 cards in hand. Tim's got 1 card in hand. We'll see if they choose to discard them to draw in fresh cards. Christian's got 12 cards left in deck, and Tim's got 17. In Ashes, guys, you don't lose the game when you run out of cards. Instead, you start taking damage for every card that you would draw. Take a damage. And you must draw up to 5 cards at the start of a round. So we have a game on our hands. We have a game on our.
In action, I'll play that. No side.
Christian plays Chain of Revenge to the board. Hammer Knight
Yes.
plays another Hammer Knight. That hammer's awesome, man. Look at that.
On that meditate, I'll pay
And
1
Tim decides to meditate
to
1
put 1 on that.
and meditate some dice. So off of that, Christian's going to trigger the Violinist ability, which when the player discards a card from their draw pile, 1 or more cards, you can spend a die to place a wound on a unit. So he spent 1 die to put a wound on the Hammer Knight. It's got 2 life. Now it's Christian's turn. That was Tim's main inside.
Side action, I'll meditate.
Side action, Christian's going to meditate 1 card from deck. And spend the die
I'll
most likely.
pay 1 to put 1 on the hammer knight.
So he spent the die to place another wound on the Hammer Knight.
Main action. Main action, I'll summon a butterfly monk.
And then main action, he summons a butterfly.
Actually, gonna ice trap that butterfly.
Okay. I'll chant the hammer knight.
Oof, rough. Tim elects to ice trap the butterfly dead, which allows Christian to trigger Chain of Revenge,
And I'll
putting the last wound on the
pay
Hammer
1 for
Knight
screams.
and killing it. Christian elects to pay a die or screams. Tim had a trigger that he could have also paid a die. The Scream Shot the butterfly. The butterfly did heal
Oh,
Christian
and
one.
I'll Final Cry you, sorry.
Now when Christian plays a reaction spell, Final Cry, when that butterfly dies, he spends the die to deal 2 damage to a target unit or Phoenixborn, putting Tim at 11. Tim had a window there to use Screams, but departed on that butterfly. He elected not to, or he forgot. And now he's going to meditate a bunch. 10 cards and 8 cards. Another Hammer Knight!
There's a lot of those things.
That's why he elected not to Scream. He wanted to play another Hammer Knight and have dice left over for another Dread Wraith.
I'll meditate again.
Christian meditates. Most likely he has Final Cry.
I won't trigger EV, but I
He
will
won't
play
trigger
that.
EV, so he doesn't have Final Cry. Could play Expand. So he's only got 3 dice showing, but he has 5 dice available because of double Expand energy. He'll probably use those for bears. Who played 2 reactions same turn? Tim played 1 reaction, he played Ice Trap, and Christian played Final Cry. Each player played 1 reaction that turn. No problem. Thanks for keeping an eye out though. If it does happen and I missed it, I appreciate if you guys let me know. Christian summons a bear.
There's only one.
Go.
I'm trying to find the other bear. I don't know what happened to it.
It's in your discard. There it is.
Oh, thank you.
So he... Not 2 bears yet.
Thank you.
There.
Um,
Bye, bear.
So he summons a bear. His unit's really strong. I've got giant ice bears and it feels good saying that. That's
okay.
that's the flavor text, and it's very true. So we have a bomber on Tim's field with a Hammer Knight and a Wraith. He's got 1 die left over. And we got bear, bomber, violet. Very similar looking fields, a little different. Christian's got enough mana because he can expand energy for another die and play another bear. Most likely what he's going to be doing. And Tim's got a card in hand. He's got 2 cards in hand. Tim can, I don't remember what's in his discard pile. I can change color here so I can look for you guys.
Red.
So Tim's got
Does he count as my team?
an EV, a Hammer Knight, and a Bomber in his discard. He's used Chain of Protection, 3 Fears, on Molten Gold, 2 Ice Traps. Christian has an
can you not
EV.
search as gray?
Yeah, you can't search discard piles as gray. I'm doing it for the stream, sorry guys. Christian has all 3 hidden powers gone. Those illusion dice aren't as useful now.
Fighting uphill since I put.
Double Final Cry, EV, Regress, 1 Molten's gone.
Complicated.
So I'm gonna switch back to gray. Tim does have the opportunity now. He can summon an EV with this die, but he'll take a damage doing that. So he's gotta pick whether that's worth it to him or not. And then the attacking in this scenario is gonna be tricky. It's a little bit standoffish, Mexican standoffish, because the position they're in right now, Christian is okay with just playing another bear and passing the turn. He doesn't need to attack because he's ahead on life. He can just wait till he draws into Molten Golds, wait for more Chanter Revenge triggers, wait for more dice. Tim knows this, so he's on the attack. He chooses to have his bomber attack the bear. Christian elects to take the damage because he has the life to spare and he wants to swing in for damage.
Actually, I'll swing this at that.
Yeah. He's more afraid of the Hammer Knight than of the bomber. Tim is trying to decide now whether he can take that damage. He's at 9 life. He knows Christian has 2 more molten golds either in hand or in deck. If he goes down to 9 life, he puts himself within range of getting burned out. At the same time, if he hits this Crimson Bomber, takes the hit, he's gonna lose the Hammer Knight. What choice will he make? I don't know what the right choice. The block and counter
Okay.
probably the right choice. Decides to win the bear. Christian spends. Ooh, is he gonna spend the last die? Yeah, he will.
I'll pay one that screams.
Yeah, he's gonna pay one of screams because he can get 2 dice back.
Final cry off your bear.
And he's gonna final cry and kill the bear. Okay, so there, off of his Hammer Knight dying, Tim got an aftershock on the bear and final cry. So ended up removing 2 units with that one Hammer Knight. Pretty nice. And then Christian used screams when the Hammer Knight died. Christian can now expand energy twice and summon a bear, which is probably what his move is going to be.
So I'll pass.
Tim has no dice, no cards, so he can't do anything further. He's just going to sit there with his giant wall wraith. Christian's going to most likely summon a bear. I don't know what's in his hand. Assuming his hand is stuff he can't play, he's going to summon a bear and attack the bomber, is my thought.
No side.
You might say, why attack the bomber? Well, he can't attack Jessa to the face. If he tries to attack Jessa in the face, she's just going to have the Wraith block it, and that's just going to make the Wraith much stronger. So what you can do, it's kind of a clever technique in Ashes, is you can actually attack exhausted units. So if you attack the exhausted Crimson Bomber, a choice for the opponent is let my bomber die, or take damage from the bear. And the choice is going to have to be bomber. Death. He can't really afford to take 3 more damage from that bear.
Main action, I'll swing the bear at the bomber.
Yeah.
Sack the bear to save. Yeah.
So,
I'll pass as well.
So yeah, he elected to have the bomber died, as expected. And now they have an EV staring at a Wraith. Big guy, staring at this girl, playing him a song of sorrow. They decide to just pass on. They say, go ahead guys, we're gonna pass, we're just gonna stare each other down and let the round continue. Let me turn this down a little bit. Oh, I don't need to hear dice clanking at the noise level of a rock band.
Sorry, he's not exhausted.
So 4 cards left in deck, 5 cards left in deck. They drew up. Let's see. Christian did not throw away that card that he had left in hand. He chose to hold on to it. So that must be something he really wants to play. Maybe it's a Molten Gold or Final Cry or something that does direct damage. So he wanted to hold that card. Tim drew 5 fresh cards. He's out of Hammer Knights at this point. Let's see what they do. At this point, players gotta start counting up damage in their hands.
And what are you hitting?
You.
Yeah, so he's gonna fire Archer. So they're counting damage.
I'll ice trap it.
They're both going for the win at this point.
And
Christian
pay
responds by ice trapping
1
the fire
screams.
archer and pays a die to use Jess's ability to screams. Tim has a side action available.
Side action, I'm gonna take 1. And I'm gonna pay 1 to put 1 on my violinist.
So Christian is damaging his own violinist. That means he's going for some direct damage through Chant of the Dead plus Final Cry, most likely. Or Chant of Revenge plus Final Cry. Because Final Cry plus Chant of the Dead is 3 damage, puts him at 4 life. That's a clear sign that Christian is going to play that card. Otherwise, he wouldn't damage his own unit.
Too late.
Crossback Bear comes out.
Side action, I'll meditate 1. Two.
Christian meditates 2.
I'll pay 1 to put 1 on the
Pays 1 to kill his.
violinist.
Sure. I assume you're chanting me.
Kills his own violinist.
And
This is
then I'll
Chant of
Final
Revenge.
Cry you. And then main action, I'll Molten Gold you.
That puts him at 1 life.
And your turn.
So all he needs now
Oh.
is a screams.
So if you found the third fear, you just win. Do you have it?
I don't have the third fear.
Yeah, so he asked him if he had the third fear, because if he had fear, he can fear this wraith, pay 1 to screams directly, and the game's over. He doesn't have it. Who knows what he's got? So there was a crazy combo turn, if you guys noticed. Christian meted 1, paid a die to kill his EV. Reaction played Final Cry and also Chant of Revenge to the face. That's 3 damage. And then main action, he played Molten Gold off of that meditate, which is another 3 damage.
Oh yeah, fire.
Just him at 1. If he has Fire Archer, he
There
also
shouldn't be
has-
any fire archers in that discard.
They don't have anything that you can just show me that automatically wins you the game next turn.
Not this next turn, no.
I'm obviously not dealing 10. Well,
So Tim's in a bad spot. Decides to summon a Wraith. At this point, Christian's pretty confident. He's not playing butterflies.
side action met all of them.
Oh, he's got Chant of Protection though. And then
Main action, I'll expand.
Oh, okay. We've got.
Yeah. And no side.
so Christian's got a second Molten Gold.
I'll gold you anyway.
Cool.
Molten Gold to his face.
Yeah, main action, 1 gold.
Yeah, so he's gonna side action meditate. 1, 2, play Molten Gold.
Alright, good game.
Good game.
Good game. Good game, guys.
I'll put the right book in the opening hand next time.
Yeah, I feel like that would have been.
That would have been a
Could've
huge
been a lot.
difference
I'd,
if he
I'd
had,
have to worry about bears, you know.
Opposed to not having to worry about.
if Tim had started Bear instead of Wraiths, that would have been a huge difference for him. His mana would have been a lot smoother. We would have had some big problems for Christian to have to deal with. Instead of the Wraiths, who are just 1 attack threats versus a 3 attack.
Yeah, this fight, this like a fear is brutal. and the second bear in the same flight. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was, guys, that was a crazy draw that Christian got for that sleight of hand. He got a second Frostback Bear and a second Fear. That was huge. Huge. You know, what's that saying, you know? Higher the risk, the higher the rewards? Because there's 3 random cards you're drawing, so those 3 cards could be 3 molten golds, and that's not what you want to see in your first 5. That's not what you want to see. I'll throw back up the monitor capture. There you go. Recording the match. 18 damage dealt. 11 damage dealt. Oh. Christian advances. Guys, go ahead. You can still cast predictions. No one's done it, but if you go to the challenge site, you can go and make predictions. See, like this. Matches are open for voting. Submit your votes. You can predict who's gonna win matches. No one's doing it right now, but you know, if you guys feel inclined to, go ahead. I'll stop recording this.